着上飞机的样子一定要录起来。第一餐，飞机餐，竟然没有另外一个鸡肉炒面。味道有点咸，不过还可以。鱼吃起来还是没有那么腥。幻卡的熊样。
the boat. Please. Make it yourself. The first thing is to take a picture.
要先喝一下原味的汤。
He's a YouTuber.
No, I just want to record my life. Let's see.
All distinguished guests, teachers, and parents, and students.
Is such a high quality school and always be the best school in our heart. And it's our great honor to be here, and we wish we will have more time to learn from you. And let's have a good night here. Okay.
ซึ่งเราไม่ได้พูดที่ต้องไปคุยนะเป็นเรียนที่ไหนครับ
So now we're going to take a picture to share this memory. So the husband and the student.
That's the front door of the school. Everyone drive us there well. Like this. Look like this. Wow. Wow. Almost. Taiwan, we call Taiwan's traffic is the hail of patriot. Here is the patriot of here is hail of 18th floor.哇哦！进门就是厨房，这个叫什么餐厅啊？然后客厅，然后厨房在这里，这边有洗衣间，洗衣机跟外面的 view 是一起的。然后这边有一个浴室，还有一个房间。哇！ This one is better than theirs. See the view. And bathroom. Primary room. Room. Wow. View 就不好了。这个是妈咪买的零食，这个芒果干，芒果青啊，没有像青芒果那么酸。然后这个。 看起来是那个，它说包绿豆，给它买养乐多。 It's easier for us to communicate even when we were preparing the food.
No, I don't, yeah.
Nice to meet you.
Chocolate, yeah.大早起床，我们住着 Vin Home Sky Lake。这是我们住的 Vin Home， 然后 Sky Lake。墙钻进来，这已经在湖的另外一边了。一些人在跑步。在楼下 K Store 买了一罐牛奶。面包，好棒！这样是越南币104元，大概是台币100。Gilang Jepwa Kamjeng Kabeshwa. Oh, okay. It means two people sharing. When you share the food, it means that your relationship will be stronger and will last.
Maybe two people share one cookie with separate group. Hello.
记全中文。
we often have it on Tet holiday. You know, lunar Tet holiday, New Year.
把后面3个零去掉。
这个是学校的合作社。
4杯红茶加珍珠，4杯红茶。
好，谢谢，请坐。那欢迎各位老师和同学们今天来参加我们今天的那个台湾越南文化交流课。大家交给一个布卡吧。好。那你们2位同学上台之间还要领着这个球，然后一起来，在老师的那个桌子上有你们的名字，那你们一定要找你们的名字。好，开始，飞选掉，对，好，飞选掉，对 ，OK， 宝宝或者对，尽量。
这边是教职人用餐的环境。
The banana leaf? No, it's not the banana leaf. Yes, it's right. That's right.
你家的咖啡一个。其实是机器跟豆体，咖啡豆决定了9成的，应该算5成的 flavor 吧，然后另外的3成是机器决定的。咖啡店。
完全黑色，完全。
看他们会不会让救护车。 最大的一个湖，比西湖比环建湖大很多倍。这里是西湖的最北边，餐厅是这一间的，叫 San K Home。湖水就在那个方向。加一些健康的
第一盘吗？第一盘
没有，我只打算吃一盘而已。
Cỏ sung quả vả tên giống nhau, cái quả đấy là quả vả, đúng rồi bạn.
花朵，
À, sung mi ạ.
绿色的花。吓人哦！来这边看到这个就傻眼了。
他们到台湾都不想要逛。
军使馆。外面的游览车停的应该超过100台了。这个是防空炮，刚刚那个是鱼雷馆。水。火箭、雷达，这个像是那个歼7、歼8那种战斗机。米格17。那边都是美军的武器了，这是 M113步兵车。这个是防空炮车啦，一个没有，它只是操控方向而已，那个枪会自动打。
哦，对的。
防空的啦，它那台是 M48。台湾以前也有那种战车。然后那个 F51那个台湾也有那种飞机啊。
哪一种？
它后面的那种直升机，台湾现在还有。
那个叫什么？
两个螺旋桨的，那个台湾还有。
那个是最单纯的。它那螺旋桨真的不会打结。这边进去说要买门票。这边看起来是历史区西元，这个西元1000年前。看起来比较像故宫博物院。这个故宫博物院怎么那么吵？越来越现代了。这个看起来是抗法的法国的国旗。这个是日本投降之后看起来要开始跟美国打仗，所以看起来整个动线是有按照年代的编列，只是说古代的东西，当然数量还是有限的。那现在比较新的东西比较多，这边都是看起来跟美军对话。 刚讲错了，这个应该还是在跟日本打仗。这个应该就是一个跟美国打的吧。这个57式步枪，高中打靶的时候就用这个。然后这个是 M16，当兵的时候拿的是这个。这个是更久的，更久之前的。战斗机，这个副校长说他也不是第一次进来这里。So you first time inside? 以为一区完了，还有一区，这个是最现代的一区了。这应该是越南政府成立之后了吧。Rosie 说，这个现在的政府的主要敌对国家就是中国大陆，保护他们的 EC， 他们的东海，就是美国的南海，就是中国大陆的南海。该完了吧。Are you from Saudi Arabia? 推荐的餐厅。非常超车的台湾土一样。I don't know. 要过马路去餐厅，是这个大马路车很多啊！看他们停车停成这个样子。等一下我们要穿越的十字路口，超级可怕的十字路口。车还好是还有逆向的，逆向的。还有交通警察站在旁边。
Number is wrong. Another 500,000 and I thought I think this one. I don't.
他们的最大的国营企业啊，冰集团。倒了。里面还有快木的香味。
Built in 2018, officially opened in 2022, and our chairman is Miss Han Vic. She is the 15th generation of Han family, one of the 19 families in Batam. And our center has a total of 5 more and engagement. The first
students here like making pottery. So right now, please follow me to go on the second floor to visit the ceramic exhibition. That way, please.
这边总共有5层楼，有说有7栋建筑物。
This keep quiet and show that street. And in some drawings, there are 3 booths that display ceramics from the 13th to 30th century. Since the days went upstream the Red River is the main river in the northern Vietnam, built the White Clay Land. White Clay Land is the first name of Batam village. Yeah, exactly. So in 1010, our king Lý Công Uẩn moved the capital from Ninh province to Thăng Long. They used in the past, like the cupboard, the big chopstick, or some tool that we use. Yeah, we have to wait to explain the meaning of Batam. Yeah, bat is a bowl, and tap, what is this? No, tap is a big yard. Yeah, so Batam is a big place to sell ceramic, but we have the other way to explain. And as you can see here, there are a lot of small statues. Each statue will simulate one step when we make pottery, and we have 5 basic steps. This very old in the 19th century. And this is the final one. We call the box furnace. This is like a house, right?
变成第3代。
So in our history, we had a period. I forgot his name. So the meaning of this space is that.
3楼。
So right here, on your page, we have the first artwork right here. Let's go over here. See 3 images here. The first one, you see, not the king, because her husband is not the king. Okay, so do you know that Vietnam was dominated by China for almost 1,000 years? He is the first king of the Lý dynasty. And you see he's sitting in the chair, right? And the right side of the chair, because
Imagine.
it looks like this, so it is the right side of the chair from the side of the good. The left side of the chair is from the left. And it is the king face from here. This was the hands. Almost 1,000 years domination in Vietnam. So we're having the picture of the king back looking at back down battle. And as you know that Vietnam was dominated by China for almost he is the one creating the first money in Vietnam. And you know that Vietnam, when China domination in Vietnam, and let's go inside to see with the little temple in middle of the lake, and that's like Hong Wan Hill Lake. We it means return the sword. Return the sword. Yeah, right next here we have the nation of Euro. He is not a king. We have Vietnamese right here. The more that king is because of when they're 39 years old. And now this is the reason why they have already. Still a big question. But also that Vietnam is an independent country. He also the most important character in Vietnam. Yeah. We call this one is the mother of nature. And when I spin the chest with the true elbow, the mother of nature. Behind, right here. Yeah. It is the portrait of the artist Bùi.
4楼，还要是上去变5楼。
Okay, look easy, right? So right now you will receive a plate. And just start here.
又不是美术班的，没差。
有啊，是啊，非常。
只能这样烤一烤就可以了。
就在點呢個手一兜。
For competition, let me hear your voice. Today I can't wait to see the final performances of 7 group of students.
Been doing Let Me Hear Your Voice, and the standard of performances has been yet again outstanding.
The local bear is gonna start performing class. Class of what? Kindergarten? Haha, okay. Actually, it's college class.
Citizens of the Valley of Peace, Master Wu will now choose the Dragon Warrior.
No more. The audience, are you ready? Are you going to be silent and give them a big round of applause? Thank you. What? How can you say good in Chinese? 好吃，好吃。And how is the performance of them today? 好吃。Yeah, thank you very much. I hope you enjoy. Then thank you. Need to welcome on stage the CEO of Hanoi Star Education and Miss Chen Pei will give some prizes for our beloved Thai students. Thank you.
OK, we can go. 最后一天，准备回家。今天下了一点毛毛雨。越南这种房子就是没有所谓的横梁系统，所以外观看不到那个粗大的梁柱，才会盖得那么方方正正。可以看到他们虽然车辆不多，但是还是有点乱乱的。刚刚忘了把大家狼狈的地狱模样给录下来。是传统的早餐店。 当地的早餐店，在老城区的这条应该算18街吧。竟然有后爸本。看起来是鸡肉米线吧，鸡丝米线，鸡丝饭。这叫鸡肉丝米线。
We can pour more. We can pour more.
加辣酱，再加辣椒，还要加普通的。然后这一个是虾酱，这个是虾酱。哦，shrimp 是虾酱。有点腥臭味。这是他们的厨房。这个是当地特色传统咖啡。就是那个淡咖啡的那种，那个很多 YouTuber 都有拍过片。Egg coffee。多拜的直接骑进来。这个就是环建湖了，哇！
Ô, về bánh răng rất lớn đúng rồi, vì là 9 giờ là xe buýt chạy ở đấy. Tức là nếu mà ai chụp ảnh thì anh
像在吃点心啊，吃甜点。记录一下自己在那个计程车后面的样子。Where are you now? I'm over now. Where are you now? I'm in front of over now. Where are you? 他们好像帮我们订了巴士，要做市区观光导览。家长还帮忙擦椅子，湿的椅子。刚好今天飘点毛毛雨，还凉凉的嘛，不是很大，带着斗笠刚刚好。
这个耳机可以听中文的导览，帮我们请专属的摄影师拍照。Ăn thì nhớ đấy. Train's coming. Bus 北门大教堂，1925年。叫镇万，1000多年的佛教寺庙。五面跟空气连成一线。看到这个西湖最大的就是环线。那天吃早餐出来，吃晚餐也没吃。我们在做无敌大回转。不知道是哪里？我们没有绕一大圈，走到镇国寺就下车了。现在去镇国寺里面，那个湖面跟天空都同一个颜色，分不太清楚湖面在哪里。然后前面这个是镇国寺，说是最古老的寺庙。
Huynh ơi, rồi rất hay ở phải sang yêu. Không là đứa nào em phải đứa nào lẻ lẻ chụp đẹp đẹp để chung.
Một堆佛像。寺庙
小小的而已，就这样子没了。还蛮多外国人。听起来应该不是西班牙话，就是法国话。这是佛寺的后方，寺庙的后面。YouTube 好像有介绍过这棵菩提树吧？我们现在真的要走进去胡志明陵寝里面了。旁边这边都是那个官方的建筑。这是胡志明陵寝的右前方，大家在上厕所，看起来没有要进去参观，应该只是在外面拍拍照。是一间在胡志明陵寝右前方的，刚刚看一下 Google 地图是那个外交部。螳螂捕蝉，黄雀在后面。So that's marriage for the marriage photo.那个警察一副屌样。胡志明，这个其实不是越南的学生交流，是越南的家长交流。看学生在干嘛？看学生在干嘛
Okay, go group, 5 people.
哇哦！看学生在干嘛？升龙皇城，升龙皇城。这一家是韩式烤肉，这都家长请客的，看起来是部队锅。后来他要把它换掉了。
Different sauce.
这个桌边服务只有我们这一桌有。西兰西瓜。
西兰 zebra.
Zebra. 西兰西瓜。西瓜。Yam jam. Yam jam.
Jam jam.
Gam jam.
Jam jam.
Gam jam.
Gam jam.
Gà đầy xoa.
Gà đầy xoa. Xoa.
Jilan, Jipwa,
Gamjang.
Kadeshwa. Actually, you have memorized it faster than I did.
It's fun because you have time to practice.
Faster learner. Jilang, Jipwa, Gamjang, Kadeshwa. See you.唯一吃到的一餐法国面包，竟然在机场吃，真是可怜。那个人已经阵亡了。闻起来像台湾的超阿滚，就是里面那个黄黄的是绿豆，是黄豆。